Hey guys, I hope I am live. Hey guys, I hope I'm live here. Um, I'm testing something out. I'm doing my Facebook Live and I'm trying to do the YouTube at the same time just to see if this thing works and trying to get things out there to people. This is Mark Hughes coming to you live, lunch and conversation. We have this on Mondays from 12 to 1. I don't know if we're going to be on for the full hour today. We might not. But hey, just to introduce myself, my name is Mark Hughes. I am a local real estate agent here in Florida. I live in South Lake, Florida, where I specialize in helping people who are looking to buy residential real estate. I am a CIPS international property specialist as well, and I am a senior real estate property specialist along with ABR and buyers, accredited buyers um, representative, along with sellers buyers representative. Those are all the titles, the designations, and certifications I have. So basically, um, help me help you who are looking to purchase homes. This is my first YouTube live, so I don't even know if it's going out. If it does, great. If it doesn't, well, hey. But I am doing it on Facebook Live. And Maria's watching. Hello, Maria. Thank you for coming on and always loyal, coming on to watch the videos. And well, she's Maria Hughes. She's my wife. And the other people who normally come on, I hope you guys are going to be tuning in pretty soon. Um, the topic today we're going to be talking about is on empty nesters. And why are we talking about empty nesters now? Because there are a lot of people who are looking to relocate or looking to downsize or right size from the home they currently live in. And this is real talk. This is real talk with people out there who are thinking about moving, who are thinking about selling their home, purchasing a new home, and what steps should they take to help them on this journey. So I'm here to walk you through that journey and answer any questions you might have. Why? Because I am experienced in doing it. I've done it myself. My wife and I, we've downsized and we've relocated 2 times. So we know what it's like to do it. I'm also a relocation certified with EXP as well. So I do have experience in doing it, and I've helped several clients move from one house to another, downsize, right size, and even upsize to homes that actually fit their current needs. So I'm here to try to do that with you guys. So let's start off. I was telling you a little bit about myself, right? So I'm right here in South Lake, Florida, the Claremont area, which is beautiful. Claremont is a beautiful area to live. I love it. Um, we call it the hills of Claremont because there's actually hills here in Florida. If some of you who didn't know that, yes, there are hills in Florida. You know, I got 2 cameras going at the same time. I got my computer camera and I also got my phone up here going at the same time. So hey, I'm trying to get as much information out to you guys and trying to get the coverage going as best I can. Okay. So moving to Florida, if you're an empty nester, why should you move to Florida? Well, if you are an empty nester who's been in your home for some time and you might have been in your home for 10, 20, 25, 30 years, you might have raised your kids there, raised your family there, and now it's just the two of you guys alone, right? So you're saying, okay, what's next for us? Well, we have this saying, live your best life. So hopefully you guys are going to be living your best life. And how do you live your best life? Thinking about you, thinking about the two of you and what you're going to do with your lives now, right? That sounds reasonable. And you're thinking about what do you want the next stage of your life to be like? Do you want to stay in your current home and maybe renovate it to fit your needs? But if you have a two-story home, okay, you might renovate it as your, you know, are you are you now with the two-story home or this larger home? Are you now have unused space in this home that you don't need? So you really have to think about that. And since the kids or family have now moved to another location, do you want to stay where you are? And you got to think about that as well. Maybe the kids are going to Florida. Maybe the kids are going to another state. Maybe they're staying right where they are. It's time for you to think about what works best for you because you've already raised your family. You've already, did all the things you can do to make them happy and secure. Now, what are you going to do for you guys? Because hey, we're not going to be here forever, and it's time for you to start thinking what you're going to do, right? So let's say you want to sell your current home. What steps should you take, right? First step you should take is think about, well, where are we going to go? If we sell this home, where are we going to move to? What do we want our lifestyle to be like? What are we looking for in a new home? Do we want to actually have a new home? Do we want to travel? Do you want to sell everything and just travel? You got to think about these things and think if these think think in the terms of, okay, what do you want the next stage to be like for yourselves, right? So let's say you decide you want to sell your home and you say, hey, we want to purchase a new home. Okay, where's that home going to be? Are your kids local? Are your kids in other states? Do you want to move closer to them? What do you want to do? For those of you who are thinking about moving to Florida, I say this. You have several options. You can move into an active adult community, it's a 55 plus community, which has all the things that you need in it. They have amenities, they have activities, you have resort type living, or you can move into a regular community that is not a 55 plus community. And there's so many options. To give you an example, there are some new communities that's coming up that used to be focused on 55 plus, but now they've switched. Like I live in Esplanade at Highland Ranch, and this is a 55 plus community, but now Esplanade is, my understanding, are moving away from the 55 plus only communities, opening up to others, meaning they, and it's still a resort type community, but they open it up where it's not only 55 plus. So you can find a home that's one level there that fits your need. They have bungalows. They have all them bungalows. Yeah, like have attached homes. Then they have single family detached homes there, and they have two-story homes there that accommodate families and so on. So think about what are you looking for. What we were looking for when we moved, we were looking for a resort type community, which we found here in Esplanade Highland Ranch. It has a nice gym, a nice clubhouse, beautiful pool, veranda, hot tub, um, and it's all heated. It's a heated pool, which is nice. It's only outdoor. But then you have other communities that have a lot more. They might have an indoor pool and outdoor pool, right? They might have a larger facility. It all depends what fits your needs. You want to move into a large community, you want to move to a smaller community. So that's an option with a 55 plus community. Or you could, like I said before, you could move into a traditional um, regular community that has both, adults, kids, and so on living there. And you can still find a home that fits your needs. So think about one. If you're thinking about moving to Florida, those are some of your options. You have a lot more options, of course, but think about: do you want to be in a 55 plus? You're empty nest. Next move for you. Do you want to, rather than buy a home, do you want to rent a home? Do you want to rent an apartment? Do you want to buy a condo? These are some options for you to think about as well. With each one of these things, you got to think about: okay, do you want to do yard work? So, if you move into a 55 plus community, chances are, active adult community, chances are most of them, they already have the landscaping that's taken care of for you, so you don't have to do that. You might decide you want to just cut your front grass because you want something to do, but the landscaping is already taken care of for you. Some of these communities also include your irrigation. Some of them include your internet, your cable, things like that, which are good options. You also have to consider um, prices, not only prices of the home, but do these communities have HOA. All 55 plus communities that I know of have HOAs. Some of them have CDDs. What is the CDDs? Community Development District. That's an um, additional fee you're going to have to pay along with your regular monthly fees. So you got to think about that. You got to make sure that your budget can sustain the cost. All right. So if you're going to move to a community like that, and you want to also get an opportunity, you want to search around for different communities that are available for you. You don't want to just say, "Hey, I'm just going to go to Florida, whatever." Here in South Lake, Florida, you have so many options. Beautiful. You want to think about activities. What type of activities do you want to be in? So, like I said, we live here in Claremont. Claremont is a beautiful community. We have trails, we have parks, we have recreation, we have entertainment. Downtown Claremont is beautiful. We have a good time there. It's a place for you to enjoy. So these are things that you consider. What are you looking for as far as like your lifestyle? Do you want to be close to the parks? We're approximately like 30, 35 minutes from major parks like, Walt Disney World, you know, um, Sea World, things like that. We're close enough or far enough away where we don't have to get caught up in all the hustle and bustle. So you want to consider those things. So, like I said, first thing, one, do you want to sell? If you're going to be relocating to Florida. One, I'm just using Florida as an example because I live here. This is the area where I take care of. Florida, you want to think about what type of lifestyle are you going to have? What are you looking for as far as lifestyle is concerned? And you want to also think about prices. What's going to fit your income level? What's going to work for you? So these are things you have to consider when you're thinking about moving to a new place and changing basically your life, starting a new adventure. So, in some communities, do you want to have year-round outdoor activities? Here in Florida, you can have year-round outdoor activities. Of course, you don't want to be out there when it's too hot. So you want to make sure that you if you want to do some activities, certain times during the year it's a lot cooler, and of course certain times during the year like August is a lot hotter, so you have to get out early in the morning or in the evening. But do you want to move into an area that has or a community that has year-round outdoor activities? Do you want to move into a golf community? Think about it. Do you want to have walking trails, biking trails? Think about that. Pickleball and tennis courts. A lot of these communities now have pickleball and tennis courts, which is beautiful, wonderful. Um, Dining and entertainment, access to the airport. Here we're about, I say about 35, 40 minutes to the airport, which is really good. We're not far, but we're not too close. Also, we're just right. I think I consider to be just right. Um, Areas that you can think about if you're thinking about moving here to Florida. Best kept secret. I already mentioned Claremont. Claremont is the best kept secret. On your computer right now. You're watching. Just type in Claremont, Florida, and you can look at different videos, things that go on in Claremont, Florida. Check out the hills. Check out Mineola. Check out Claremont, Mineola, Mount Verg, Groveland, Mascot. These are the areas that I cover. You're gonna love what they have to offer there. Okay. And you want to make sure that when you're making that move, if you're going to make that move to Florida, you have the right movers that you're going to be working with. So you want to do your research. One, do you want to have them bring over a container where you fill it up and then have it moved? Do you want to do a moving truck yourself? Or do you want to have a company do it? So there's several options for you to consider. You want to go and research these things. And if you need help with that, I can help you with that as well. So you want to consider those things. And like I said before, when you're thinking about your kids, how far are your kids going to be, right? So consider that as well. Now, Florida has a lot to offer. There's a lot of benefits. We have what's called homestead exemption. I don't know if you've heard that before. Many states have their own new tax benefits that help people who are purchasing homes, who are keeping homes. purchasing homes and in the area. Excuse me for a minute. We have my wife is talking to me. So what was I saying? Oh, so you have many options. You have many options. So homestead exemption is one of the options that you have here in Florida. And that's a tax benefit for people who will purchase homes here in Florida, who live here, who have a permanent residence. And what do I mean by that is, let's say you purchase a home here in Florida, you're a permanent resident here, and your home costs you $500,000. Now, your home, what your home is assessed at based on the city is a lot different than what you purchased for your home. So let's say they have it assessed at 450 or $500,000, whatever it is. With the homestead exemption, you get an initial $50,000 that is that is off that amount. So let's say they have it assessed at 400,000. Instead of you being taxed on 400,000, you're taxed on 350,000, which is a benefit to you. And those of you who are 65 and above, you get an additional exemption if you apply for it. So think about that as well. And then not only that, if you're disabled, if you're military disabled, hey, you get tax exempted from property as well. So those are some benefits that you can look into when you're thinking about moving to Florida. And those are some of the options you have. Okay, so really think about that. Another thing is, one thing you don't have to worry about is income tax. Well, what does that mean? Well, your pension is not going to be taxed here in Florida, which is a great thing if you have a pension. We lived in North Carolina, loved it there in Raleigh, North Carolina. Only thing they taxed my pension, which unfortunately wasn't a good thing. So it ended up costing us money. So we try to. You want to move to Florida, you got to benefit where you're not being taxed on your income, which is great. Right? You do have to pay federal taxes. Everybody does have to pay federal taxes. So unless you, some people who try to get away with it, but most of us have to pay federal taxes. That's just how it is. Okay. So that's another thing you can look at. Um, Benefits of living here in Claremont, Florida. It is a happening place. You have so many things going on. You have downtown Claremont. You have First Fridays. They used to have First Fridays, but they changed it to Saturdays now. They have it on Saturday. Saturdays they have it, and that's where they have a bunch of food trucks come out and they have a lot of entertainment going on downtown Florida, downtown Claremont. It's beautiful, lovely place. You have Lake Mineola. You have the different trails. It's really a nice place for you to walk around and see what's happening. You have the hills here. You have a lot of athletes that come right here to Florida just to train because of the hills. So it's really beautiful. And I've already talked about the active adult communities. So those are some things you want to think about. So I mentioned a lot of things, and I got a question for you. If you were to have the option of um, moving to Florida, um, what are what is one of the number one things that you would like to see or have when you move to Florida? So, if you were thinking about moving to Florida, what is the number one thing you gotta have when you move to Florida? Okay, let me put it that way. So you guys think about that. Ask that. I got that question out there, and let me hear your answers. Okay. So I'm just looking through some of my notes here. Oh, also when you're moving over to Florida, you got to think: do you want to live in a gated community or a non-gated community? You have gated communities that are manned, and some of them are just electronic gate that operates where you got to go by with your key fob or a tag on your window that gets you through. Now, some of these communities, you have larger communities and you have smaller communities. You also want to think about the size of the community. You got some of these communities that have 2,000 homes, and and they have a man gated. It's a man gated community, and they have like 2,000 homes in it. So that HOA really sustains with the money they have coming in. It usually takes care of that man gate and the operations and everything. When you move into a smaller community, you have to understand if you have something like 300, 400 homes, you have less income coming in for that HOA. Unless they increase the prices at HOA, a man gate really isn't reasonable to have because it's going to cost you more money. So when you're looking into these communities, consider these things and consider the additional cost, especially if you're moving into a brand new um, community, active adult community, because what that HOA starts off with is going to change in time, especially once they complete the building, because in the beginning, the builder is covering any additional costs. You understand? So the builder is in control of the HOA and they're covering any additional costs. However, when you when the community takes over, now the community is taking over and they're taking on the management and everything else. So they hire a management company to do the operation as far as like the money coming in, sending out the bills to the community, people who live in the community, managing the accounts and everything. They take care of that, but that's going to cost you money. Also, if you have staff there, that's going to cost you some additional money. So the size of the community basically helps you sustain the cost. You understand what I'm saying? So think about that also. So because the smaller the community, you have to really think ahead and say, hey, are we going to be able to cover this cost once the builder moves? In our community, for example, Taylor Morrison had the community. They were covering a lot of the costs, but then once they left, our community took over, and then we decided as a community, because we voted for board members and everything else, what things we were going to keep and which things we were going to replace with new things. So cost is very important. You have to think about these things when you're moving into a community. I hope that makes sense to you. Like I said, we live on YouTube and we on Facebook. I'm really testing out the YouTube to see how it goes. And honest talk today, going through some things with empty nesters and relocating to Florida. Just throwing out some things out there to you guys to see, just to get some feedback. Right now, when you're considering downsizing or what I like to call right sizing, and you're thinking about timing, understand this. Some of you might have, when you sell your home, you might be able to go and purchase your new home all cash, right? So that's a good thing to consider. If you purchase all cash, you don't have to worry about having a mortgage, which is fantastic. You don't have to worry about having a mortgage, but now you do have that HOA you have to cover. Still have to pay taxes on your home, and if you have a CDD, that CDD has to be covered as well. So consider these things. Okay, I fix the camera. Used to talking like this. All right, so consider these things when you're thinking about purchasing a home. Now, some of you might be able to do a reverse mortgage, whereas basically you no longer have to pay a mortgage on your home. And that you have to talk to a financial advisor and loan officer about in order to get the details about it. But that's another option for you to consider when you're looking to purchase a home. Okay. So now we talk about Florida, the wonderful sunny place in Florida where I live. Love it, enjoy it. It's a great place to live. And hey, I'm hoping that you guys, I'm encouraging you guys to want to come out here and live in Florida as well. Does it get hot? Yes, it gets hot. Okay. Like I said, we're not going to be on long because basically today I just wanted to talk a little bit to the empty nesters, see who comes on, and I wanted to test out my YouTube and then go back and check it out and see how did it come out and see if it even came out all right. Now you want to know. You say, well, hey, I'm an empty nester, but how do I know it's time for me to downsize? Basically, when you look around and you're in this big home and you you notice that no rooms are being a lot of rooms aren't being utilized. It's getting hard for you to clean. Even if you have a person come in to clean the house, the cost of that, you think about, well, hey, Do I want to continue? My electric bill is so high because I'm in this large home. And do we want to just move and go to another place? Life changes for you, and you think about where we're going to go next, right? So for most of us, life changes that signal to us that says, hey, it's time for us to move on to another location. Just like it was when you lived in your first home that you bought. You might have bought a smaller home, then you upsized to a larger home. It's the same thing when you're looking to move to another location when you're downsizing a lifestyle. And you think about you're going to go through a lot of emotional changes and financial factors that you have to consider, which we talked a little bit about. You want to make the process as stress free as possible. How do you do that? By working with a team, a realtor, a loan officer, movers, people you're going to be able to work with together in order to help you find the place that meets your needs. Local option right sizing. Like I said, South Lake, Florida is beautiful. You need to understand um, what what kind of benefits do you get from moving to a place like South Lake, Florida, which I already talked to you. Lifestyle changes, which is great. You know, quality of life you're going to have when you move to an area where you don't have to worry about cutting the grass, where you don't have to worry about noise and the hustle and bustle. One thing when you do become an empty nester and you do retire, you choose what time you leave the house. So you don't have to go out during normal rush hours. You can go out at a time when rush hour is already done and do all the things you want to do, have a nice day out, and then come in before the traffic starts again. And if you're going to move to any metropolitan city, think about this: you are going to have traffic. But like I said, you choose when you're going to go out and be out there in the community, be out there doing the things you want to do. Now, when you're thinking about when you say, hey, you make a decision, you said you're going to move. What should you do? You should what I call pre-pack. First, you want to pre-pack the things that you have that you're going to be taking with you, and you want to take the things that you're not going to be taking with you. Either you're going to give away, you're going to do a garage sale, or you're going to give the family. Basically, you want to go with less. You don't want to go with more. So if you have things in your closet or things in your attic that you haven't seen for years, it's time to let those things go. Because when you take them with you, you're going to add more things to your new home that you're not going to see. So why just continue to take it with you? This is the time for you to decide to see if the kids want any of the things that you have. This is the time to do it. Don't wait. Do it then. Okay. Okay. So we talked about a few things. Um, preparing the house. Okay. How do you prepare the house? If you're going to prepare your house to sell, right? One of the things I always tell people is, and I've covered this on previous videos, is one, you want to pre-pack. You can things you're going to be taking with you. You can put them in your garage in boxes, which is just fine. But inside your home, you want to have your home deep clean. And what do I mean? Have a cleaning service come in and deep clean your home. You get different quotes, prices. Have a deep clean. You want to make sure you make your home marketable, meaning not just for you. You live there, so you're used to the things you have in your home. You love your home. You love the way it is. Make it marketable for other people to come in and see themselves. So you want to kind of like remove yourself from the home and just make it so that anybody walking in, they can put themselves there, just like it is in a model home. You see model homes. That's what you want to do. You want to make sure you have your outside done, your landscaping done. You want to beautify your landscape, make the curb appeal. When people pull up, they see it, they say, "Wow, love this, love the outside of this home, love how it looks." Hey, some of you might have to get your homes painted. Or you might just need a good power wash. Get it done. You get all these things done beforehand. So you know the place is looking really good and ready to go on the market. Make sure you have professional pictures done. No matter which realtor you work with, make sure they do professional pictures and not just taking pictures on their phone. I know people say, "Oh, the iPhones are great. You can take great pictures." Nothing beats professional pictures. So make sure you get that done. All right. And when your house does go on the market and you're getting offers, make sure you review those offers. See what type of offers are coming in. And you and your realtor should be sitting down discussing these things and going. When you're meeting with different people, especially realtors, don't be rushed into making any any quick decisions. You want to consider the person you're going to be working with. You're going to make sure they're going to meet your needs, and you're going to make sure they pay attention to what it is you're saying. Sometimes, you might get some people who come, they rush, they want to just get the deal, and they talk to you saying whatever they need to say to close that deal. You don't want that person. You want that person who's going to be able to pay attention to your needs, listen to what you have to say, and is going to be your trusted advisor, truly trusted advisor, not just thinking about the paycheck. Okay, very important. And there are a lot of professionals out there, so you don't have to think that there's no one there that doesn't have any morals. Yes, there are a lot of them that have morals that do a great job, a lot of great realtors. And hey, if you need any recommendations who you can use, hey, make sure to just send me a little message. I'll give you some recommendations, some people who I work with in different states that can help you along and point you in the right direction to get that realtor that's going to work with you and help you sell your home. When it comes time to selling the home and say you do get a buyer, right away, you should have already known where you're going to be moving to. That should have already been a done deal. You already know where you're moving to, what location you're going to. If you're relocating, you already have a home picked out and all that other good stuff. Don't wait till the last minute to do that. That should be already done before your home is sold. All right, you should already know it. So it's very important to time it. Now, when you relocate to another state, of course, if you're still in one state, moving to another state, you can't have the closing at the same time unless you're going to do it remote. So make sure you time it right. So if you're selling your home, let's say in North Carolina, on a Monday, you're going to be in your closing for your new home in Florida is on a Thursday. What are you doing in that time in between? Give you an example. Me and my wife, when we sold our home in Raleigh, North Carolina, we planned it out. We planned it out. Whereas, hey, how you doing? Oh, I haven't Collins. I haven't heard from you in a long time. It's good to see you. We planned it out. Whereas, um, once our home was sold here in Raleigh, North Carolina, we had our stuff already taken over to Florida by a company where they held our stuff for us. We set it up where we could spend 2 weeks in the resort. We had our time shares. We was able to spend 2 weeks in the resort. And what we did was, like, say we closed on a Monday. The Tuesday we left out. We stayed over our daughters one day. The Tuesday we left out. We drove out to Florida. I drove my car. It was a long drive. Uh, well, it wasn't that long. From North Carolina to Florida is about 12 hours. So we got there. We went to the resort. We had our closing, let's say, on Thursday for our new home. We went to our closing, but we was in the resort, so we went to our closing, did our closing, everything, went back to resort. We had time to rest in between because when you're making these big moves, it is exhausting. You're going to be kind of worn out. So that was good for us to take that little break in between and be in the resort where we didn't have to worry about cleaning anything. We didn't have to worry about cooking anything. We didn't have to worry about any of that stuff. And we enjoyed our time. And we went back and forth to the home. But then when we were ready to move in our things, guess what? We still had time in the resort. We had it set up. I was going to move stuff along with my son, and moved into the house, but I ended up saying no. It was crazy. It was during August. It was hot. What I did was I went online, found some movers. They unpacked the truck. Only thing I had to do was tell them move this there, move that there, move that there. We got the things inside the house. We had things put together. Went back to the resort, enjoyed our time at the resort. So we didn't have to be in the house dealing with all the boxes and everything. And we just drove over to the home, took care of things we needed to take care of, went back to the resort. And then when we were ready to move in, we moved in nice and smooth. So have like a plan together of how you're going to do it. Because to be honest, it's going to take you forever to unpack some boxes. We still have a few boxes inside our garage that's not unpacked, but these are things that we don't normally use. So now we have to decide what we're going to get rid of it. And it's been 6 years. So I'm just telling you how it goes. So just consider those things. So when you're making a relocation move, make sure you have a plan put together on what are you going to do, how are you going to schedule those closings, and what are you going to do in that in between time. And you don't want to make it so stressful. Whereas, okay, you're closing in a place like New York, and you're closing on a Monday, and you're flying down to, let's say, Florida for to have your closing on Tuesday, and then hey, anything could happen in between that time. Flight might not work out. Something might happen. You don't know. So you want to have an in between time. You want to have that little break in between where it's like give yourself a few days, whereas for any hiccups that might happen. And I strongly recommend that don't try to move the stuff yourself. That is very difficult. You don't want to try to move your furniture and things yourself. So look at the different options you have as far as movers, as far as if you're going to get a trailer to come and you're going to pack the stuff yourself. You don't want to put too much stress on yourself and your body doing these things. You might have a good time with family. You might have some pizzas and they put things inside the truck. That's what we did. They put things inside the truck and we just had the company come and take it to another location. It wasn't Pods, it was another company that we used. So it worked out really good. And it was like really one of the easiest moves that we made. So you want to make sure you do it right. You want to make sure you plan. And like I said, that in between time is going to be very helpful to you so you don't stress out. Okay. So just think about that when you relocate to another state. And also if you have the realtor you work with, if you're working with somebody like me, and let's say you're in another state and we're going to take care of the closing and everything, I will be there with you throughout the whole process to make sure it goes nice and smooth. I'm not going to leave you alone. I'm going to be there with you through the whole process. And I have different packages for people who are looking to relocate, what we offer, what we give to you, how we help you along, and recommendations for movers and so on. I have packages put together for that for you to help you along with that. So, empty nesters looking to relocate, or if you're here in the state and you're looking to downsize or right size, but I like to call right size, a place that fits your needs. You have so many options available. And when you look at the prices in the different communities, um, I say prices are super local. What do I mean by that? What homes sell for in Claremont don't sell the same in Winter Garden, um, Groveland, Mascot, Mineola. So these areas, you got to make sure you talk with an expert that's going to be able to help you. I am an expert in these areas. So who's going to be able to help you and let you know what prices are like and show you the communities that will best fit your needs. Okay. So, hey, like I said, we're not going to be on for the full hour that we're usually on because I'm really testing out my YouTube and I do have the Facebook Live coming on. But any of you guys who did come on or who missed this broadcast, hey, you get an opportunity, go on, send me a message. What do you want us to talk about? And if this was helpful, let me know it was helpful to you. This is live. This is not where I sat down and cleaned up the tape, cleaned up the video, where I made it like, oh, so crisp and like, wow, no mistakes or anything like that. No, this is live. This is real talk, real situations, real time, live. I'm talking to you about these things. All right. And that's what I want to do. I want to have an honest conversation with people. And I would like you to come on and actually throw some comments out there so we can talk and discuss. Just to let you know, I'm going to have coming up next Sunday, I'm going to be doing a live open house walkthrough of a home. It's going to be an open house. I'm going to cast it out there, get people to sign in and everything else. It's going to be a home in Minneota, Florida. It's a beautiful home, 1-story home. It's a pretty large home. So look out for that. I'm going to start posting it up probably between Wednesday, Thursday, letting you know. It's going to be on Sunday at 1 p.m. We're going to have this live open house virtually. We're going to walk through the house. I'm going to tell you all about this home, the community, the area, and what's available for you. Okay? So make sure to tune into that. Like I said, my name is Mark Hughes. I am a residential real estate specialist right here in Florida. I am licensed in 2 states, in Florida and North Carolina, specialize in helping people who are looking to one, downsize, right size, relocate to the area, buyers and sellers, right here in South Lake, Florida. I am an international property specialist as well, helping people from other countries come right here to Florida or move to another country as well. I have several people who I work with who are my partners in real estate, who I communicate with, help people who say you're moving to Jamaica. I have a realtor who I work with there in Jamaica who I communicate with and help you along that process. You're moving here from Jamaica. I help you along the way. Help you with finding the right people who can help you with finances, all the documents that you need if you're moving from another country, or if you move into another country, we do that as well. Several packages available. But basically, this right here, these videos I do, is like I said, real talk. Just want to have a conversation with people and an opportunity for us to talk. All right. So if any of you are looking for a great realtor to help you out, or just want to have real talk with information, please come on to these lunch and conversations that I have on Mondays from 12 usually to 1. We're shortening this one up. Today was a test drive with our YouTube. It's going to be coming out a lot. We're going to make it a little bit more crisper, and I'm looking at the how it looks right now. We're going to make it a little bit better, and hey, we hope to improve. But hey, share this video with other friends, family, people you know, so we can discuss these things. And thank you for watching. And hey, share the video, okay? All right. So thank you. Have a great day. Hope to talk to you soon. See you on the next one. Lunch and Conversation with Mark. My number 352-932-3086. Or just send me a message. We can talk and hope to talk to you soon. Bye bye. I just stopped Facebook and I'm in stream here on YouTube.